Good morning, students. Next topic in unit 2 is classification of frequency modulation. As we all know, frequency modulation is nothing but the frequency of the carrier is modulated in accordance with the amplitude of the message signal. When seeing about the frequency modulation, we have two different classification in frequency modulation. One is narrow band FM and wide band FM. That is what we are going to see in detail. So we have two part, narrow band FM and wide band FM. This classification is basic on the modulation index. What is the basis of modulation index is how much the modulation is happening. What is the depth of modulation happening in the system is nothing but your modulation index. You can have deep modulation or you can have low modulation. So modulation index may be less than 1 or greater than 1. So if it is less than 1, the frequency modulation happened is less than 1, then that modulation is called as narrow band FM. If modulation is greater than 1, then we'll call that modulation as the wide band frequency modulation. So what is the frequency range for each is given in this slide. So narrow band FM is less when compared to that of the wide band FM. And so the frequency is also less, which is having 3 kilohertz, and frequency deviation is up to 75 kilohertz. But for wide band FM, the frequency range itself is from 30 to 15 kilohertz, 30 hertz to 15 kilohertz. The same deviation will be happening at the 75 kilohertz. Bandwidth of wide band FM is 15 times greater than that of the narrow band FM. So next we need to see what is preamp passes and the deamp passes. So preamp passes is defined compared to the frequency and amplitude and everything. So if the signal frequency decreases, automatically the amplitude increases. If frequency increases, then amplitude will get decrease. Here if the signal decreases, the signal to noise ratio will also get decrease. If the signal quality decreases, then signal to noise ratio quality is also decreased. So we need to boost up the signal at particular places. If you are boosting up the signal to noise ratio at the transmitter part, then that process is called preamp passes. If you increase the signal to noise ratio at the receiver part, then that process is called as the deamp passes. So we have two different end, transmitter end and the receiver end in every type of modulation cases. So if you are making any changes or if you are making any boost upping of signals in the transmitter part, then that process is called as preamp passes. If you make the same thing at the receiver part, then the process is called as deamp passes. So you will have a preamp passes circuit at the transmitter end and you have the deamp passes circuit at the receiver end. So this is how we are going to generate the narrow band FM. So narrow band FM modulator will have an integrator, double sideband modulator and a 90-degree phase shifter. So you are going to give your S of t, your signal at the integrator. The signal is integrated and converted signal is called as pi of t, which is given to the DSB modulator. Again you need to apply carrier signal, right? So that carrier signal is generated as A cos omega t at this oscillator. It is 90-degree phase shifted and it is given to the DSB modulator. So finally obtained signal is given to narrow band FM. In that case again the carrier signal is applied to the narrow band FM. So finally produced output is nothing but narrow band frequency modulated signal. This is your narrow band modulator. So you can make the generation of wide band FM in two different circuits. You have two different circuits for generating the wide band FM. Generally we'll have a voltage control oscillator in the generation part of wide band FM, because when compared to that of the narrow band FM, wide band FM will have frequency and characteristics higher to that of the narrow band. So you need a voltage control oscillator to make its characteristics constant. So this is first type of model generating the wide band FM. You have a varactor diode in this case. Varactor diode not only act as a converter for the AC to DC, it have a special characteristics that it will save the carrier signal in it. Whenever a message signal requires a carrier, it will apply to the message signal and it will produce the wideband FM. This is what the specific characteristics of the varactor diode. Here you have a oscillator tuned circuit at the one end, and another end you are applying AF transformer, that is modulating signal is applied at the other end. So these two signals are combined at this varactor diode circuit and it will produce the wideband FM. This varactor diode itself will have a VCO to control its oscillations. This is your second method. We'll call this method as an indirect method of generating the wideband FM. You have many more components in this circuit. Total circuit is divided into two different groups, first group and second group. It has multiple multipliers in this group. So here you are applying the crystal oscillator, that is crystal oscillator is the carrier frequency generator, where you are applying your carrier signal. Your input AF signal is applied to audio equalizer through which it is given to a balance modulator, whereas the carrier signal is 90-degree phase shifted and it is given to balance modulator, and you have a buffer to buffer your carrier signal. So you may not continuously connect your crystal oscillator. Once the signals are generated, it is buffered in the buffer. So buffer will supply the signals. So the buffered signal is given to the combination network, and finally balance modulator will apply the AM signal to it. So you have a combined form and will produce an FM signal. That signal is given to a multiplier which will add the signal frequency, add the characteristics in addition to form a wideband FM. Again it is given to a mixture, where again we will apply a crystal oscillator to boost up the signal. Again this combined signal consisting of low FC and MF is given to a second group of multiplier, where your carrier frequency is higher, and again modulation index will also be making higher. Modulation index of the signal is also getting higher and carrier signal frequency is also getting higher. Finally it is given to a class C power amplifier, where the power of the phase signals is getting amplified. Finally this signal is transmitted to the next end of the final output. This is how the wideband FM are generated. So in this video we have covered the narrowband and wideband FM generation and its characteristics. Thank you.